hopefully it just works.
Looks like we're live.
Yippee!
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Hello!
We've done this before.
I swear we've done this before.
All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome on in to the Timespinner 2v2 Archipelago Mystery Seed Tournament. I'm Wef Jebster, and ACZ, we just call him Zed, is right here doing the restream and a little bit of co-commentary. How is it going, Zed?
It's going great because I've done this before and we're not worried at all about any of the scuff. And that's what I'm going to keep telling myself.
Before. There has never before been scuff. But yeah, no, this is the first match of the 2v2 tournament. We're very excited to get this going. It is an AP 2v2 true ending tournament. So the cool thing about this is none of the runners know what they're going to get until they start playing. You can see some of the probabilities of some of the flags on your screen. But welcome on in, everybody, from the Final Fantasy Randomizer 2 community. We have been blessed by your lovely community and allowed to stream on your channel, which I think is the coolest thing.
Yes.
As it stands, everybody is ready to go, and we should be starting momentarily.
Yes, let me release that. Well, first let me... Ta-da, look at this. I've done this before.
This is the layout. Listen, Zed has been a superhero, setting up so much of this stuff for us. Absolute, just superhero with this stuff. So very excited to see what we have in store here. This is gonna be a wacky one, and I hope you all enjoy watching as much as we're gonna enjoy hosting for you.
For sure, and if audio balance sounds off, somebody please let me know. I am in control of that.
All right, so it looks like we've got Blood Orb and Shattered Orb, both minus for our start. You'll see the top two screens are going to be your player one, and your bottom two screens are going to be your player two. So those will be the two that are kind of racing against each other. Now, the way that this is going to work is it will be the team that has the lowest combined finish time. So we're seeing a lot of minuses. There is something in this tournament where if you have rolled all minuses on your orbs, it is possible that you start, well, if it's all minuses on your orbs, you will start with an Empire Crown and an Eternal Coat and a Sellen's Bangle and Galaxy Earrings in your inventory. So if you start seeing a lot of minuses, you should probably check your inventory to see if you have that. But right now, looks like our player ones are starting out with a quick light wall and economizer ring. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out for our player ones. You'll see that the player ones are starting in the present while player twos are starting in the past. And we've got a pretty similar starting. You'll see a lot of this start right off the bat. Our player twos have their Timespinner wheels already, which is going to be pretty safe, although Kemps did very nearly take a death there. So it looks like Pi is was opting to try and maybe kill some stuff, try and get some quick experience at the start. They do get that light wall, and so Planeswater is going to jump over and pay a visit to Mr. Skellybones. We don't have a perfect sync here, but you can see from the timers about the difference. And you've probably already noticed that these runners are passing each other's items back and forth because this is, yet again, an Archipelago implementation of a 2v2 mystery tournament. So this is going to be really exciting to watch.
Plenty of chaos going on. Player two they have rolled enemy randomizer, so they're getting bullied a lot more than they otherwise would be normally.
Yep.
Just due to all of these random enemy placements, and of course, that shattered minus is really not helping.
Yeah, I mean they have nothing but minuses right now, so it's tough. They did get that silence ring, which is going to help them tank a hit here and there. Bombardment tragically minus as Talon takes a death.
They have
That's like the
their
danger of
full-
enemy rando is you can get really bullied by stuff that's not supposed to be there. Our player ones do have tablet available. It looks like Planeswater has it, and Pi will be getting that relatively soon.
Yep. So obviously, dying is generally not good, but when all of your items aren't necessarily yours, that means in some cases you don't have to go back for them. So dying can be less intrusive than it otherwise would be. Like
Yeah,
if
and
you
the
if
thing
you
you have to
find
remember-
exclusively items for your teammate, you don't need to go re-get those checks.
That is
Not
kind
important.
of the thing you have to remember. Because of the way that Timespinner is implemented, you actually do have to go get any of your own items again, which can be kind of a tricky thing to remember. If you die, that stuff is still there for you. We have our first boss here. It's Sandman at the Boots location. Even though Jin Inferno is minus, it is still Jin Inferno.
It is still Jin Inferno.
Sandman is still weak to fire. Also, I don't know if... Oh, and Kemps takes a death from a Royal Guard.
Ooh,
And
gatekeep.
I don't know, like Planeswater picked up a captain's cap, which is really good, and you'll see Pi doing that right there. As it stands, the player 2, your bottom screen, has a much more difficult early game. So
Yeah,
as they take deaths, that's something that you're going to want to probably pay attention to, like what they end up doing after they take these deaths.
Yeah, plenty of danger for them. But that captain cap for the player ones is going to be really nice for taking down that Sandman. We're seeing really good use of Light Wall and
Yep.
the Blood Orb as well,
Yeah, the
instead of
Blood
Jin
Orb,
Inferno.
They did kind of get lucky. They rolled 2 minus orbs, but it was both stuff that their first boss is weak to. This could have been a very, very rude start if it wasn't for that. Planeswater remembering that he does have Light Wall and he doesn't have to go back and do all the platforming again if he gets knocked off by a Shivercopter. They also get a Water Mask early there, so that is very interesting to find. Early tablet, early V card. Oh, you'll see this. After defeating that boss, Planeswater has used Archipelago's gifting implementation to give Kemps that captain's cap. Give him a little bit of boost there. We'll see how that plays out.
Yes. Gifting is not enabled by default, so it is something our runners have to take time to do. And if you don't end up using it, or it's not as impactful as you'd hope, it is just time lost spent enabling it. However, as Wef and I have figured out since we are teammates, there are some scenarios where gifting really can come in handy. Like in this exact scenario where, you know, maybe you want the cap for a boss fight, but, you know, your teammates run an enemy rando. You need more defense. Here, have a hat.
Yeah, and the key thing is if you get gifted an item and you die before you hit a save point, that item's just gone. So
Yes.
you have to make sure you don't just lose it forever. One of the other key things here with gifting is those shops. And you saw Planeswater check the shops. Planeswater's shops are very, very expensive. And he did sell an ancient coin, but unfortunately that wasn't really enough to get anything like reasonable. Like usually you can find like high ethers or mind refresh ultras, but with how expensive the shops are, it just wasn't worth the commerce there. That is another thing that you'll find that people might be gifting back and forth, is these consumables. You can see mind refresh ultras, high potions, and high ethers all there. Pretty stacked shop, but the stuff's just so expensive.
Might be stacked, but, like, where's the money? The video is not buffering, I'm pretty sure. Please go away. Thank you. No scuff. Very professional.
Very profesh. And you see on D2 Kemp's side, this is where your enemy rando really starts to be annoying. You have these enemies that just aren't supposed to be there, and they're just bullying you because you don't have any real other way to get around them. Anytime you have to go up, the enemies are at like a severe advantage over you. They have the high ground, and I'm not just saying that because it's a meme. This game is designed for you to not have to do that. And though he does have the wheel, sometimes it creates situations where you do, in fact, have to go through those enemies in order to get up these cliffs. You can see that Talon's taking some damage here too.
Yeah, getting the wheel early makes it really easy, but you don't have a lot of time stop available to you early.
Yeah, they're both out of sand when they were trying to climb that, so obviously with Kemp's boss fight here against Nightmare, time stop doesn't even work. With the Azure Queen being here, it is a heck of a fight. And Planeswater, I just noticed, is inside the Zarian Caves. I didn't catch where that A card was. I'm assuming it was handed to him by Kemp's, but he seems to have been forced to go into Zarian Caves early. This is a very high-level area of the game. As you can see, Talon, or Planeswater is being very, very, very careful here.
Yes,
like hitting this with a gigantic hammer, and just the stupid vine just won't die.
Yes, everything in here has so much HP.
The flip side of that, obviously, being that you can gain a level pretty much every time you kill anything here. So it is something that is you just got to watch out for. This is actually great for them having this economizer ring. This would probably be a lot more annoying without it.
Yes, that economizer ring as well. Oh no, they don't have the royal ring. The economizer ring is great. Making spells cost less mana. Always nice.
This Nightmare fight at Azure Queen is taking a very, very long time.
I mean, yeah, Azure Queen's got like 2,000 HP, and they're dealing a whole whopping 5 damage with that light wall.
And then after that, after all of that, Kemps takes a death. We'll see if he turns around and says, screw this, I ain't doing it.
There's...
Oh, and then Talon takes a death too. They just don't have the damage output, even with that Captain's Cap.
I might have to apologize after this one.
Kemps is gifting the Captain's Cap back so Planeswater can make his way through the caves, the Zarian Caves. That is incredible. This is great. Good teamwork.
It is just a little bit faster.
This is great teamwork here.
Making great use of the Captain's Cap. You get a turn with the Captain's Cap. I tried fighting a boss. I dealt a total of 5 damage with my most damaging spell. You know what? You can have the cap. Hopefully the progression is in your world.
Yeah, I mean, Zarian Caves is pretty good. They get a Scythe Ring from the Breakable Wall in Zarian Cave, and it looks like they got... What else did they get? It looks like maybe just a consumable, because we didn't send... Oh, you know what? Kemps is doing something here. He did die. We did call this out. He's kind of being honorable about this. He did die before saving, which means the game doesn't realize that he sent the Captain's Cap. And being a good sport, he goes in and unequips it. Also, because we kind of said that you probably need to. So just remembering the rules of it. So.
Stream?
Yeah, stream went down, so.
Okay.
Amazing timing.
Always. And we're back.
We're back. Hello. Sorry
Hello.
about that.
Apologies, my computer hates
me. I have no idea what we missed, so I'm going to try and catch up on the trackers here. Could you share to Discord? Well.
Oh, yep, sorry.
Hey, no, I just, you know.
Why do you think you need that?
I gotta have like the latest up-to-date information. It does look like Planeswater is running in to fight Zarian Varney at Zarian, which is not cool. Using some good orb swapping there to try and get more than 3 light walls on the screen at a time, really making great use of the economizer ring. Our runners are really kind of being put to some pretty rough tasks here early, which is fun to see for a first round of the tournament. So very cool. Oh, Planeswater getting smashed there by Varney at Zarian. That's going to be a tough boss.
Yeah, with roughly 3,500 HP. That's going to be a rough one. But that Plasma Geyser Plus that they just
might be
obtained,
a big deal.
That's going to help.
Planeswater getting that Plasma Geyser Plus with the economizer ring, that's a lot of damage. That is a
significant improvement in DPS.
Yeah, for sure.
It does look like while we were away that both of the player 2 runners have also obtained Light Wall, as they are now in the castle.
They were able to hop over that gate. As you may have seen, the new flag, one of the new flags that we're running with here, is called Gatekeep, where the gate going into the castle is actually up, and you have to be able to either go over it, or you have to get the item, the drawbridge key, that will let you go into the castle proper. Planeswater has just taken down. Wow. Planeswater taking down Zarian. The reward seemed to have been nothing of consequence, which is kind of a bummer. That was a lot of work, but the second bummer here is that Planeswater does not have a way to warp out of Zarian Caves. And it looks like Pi might have realized that he is also in the same situation.
Yes, that player 1 seed did not start with the twin pyramid keys, so they have to walk.
Yeah, it has been a bit since we've done a tournament where we didn't start with the pyramid keys. So, you know, nobody really ever runs without that flag on anymore, that Unchained Keys flag. So this was just, you know, something that they were just used to. We have not seen, at least while we were able to see what they were doing, we have not seen any hints yet. And that's another part of this archipelago system that our runners are probably going to use sooner rather than later, is this hint system where they can actually check to see where some of their progressive items are.
Yes, and that is 15% of checks for this tournament, so that equates to roughly 22, 23 items or locations. So once they check
on what your flags are, I think it can go up to 31.
Up to 31? Yeah. So they will be able to hint various items. Obviously, you want to hint the things that are going to get you through the game faster, so you'll probably see a hint for, at this point, probably Celestial Sash from either player.
Yeah, Pi just jumped right into a vine and took a death there. Did just grab a save, so he's not that far behind of where he was. Puts on that Midnight Cloak. I saw them pick that up. That was
Librarian Robe.
The Librarian Robe's got to be better than what they have. Yeah, that's probably a better pickup than the Midnight Cloak.
Yeah, the Librarian Robe is actually a pretty late game item.
Oh, sorry, what'd you say?
The Librarian Robe is actually pretty... Well, it's not late game, but it is kind of a secret items. You trade in an Advisor Robe and Cap from the Ilana's Towers to the Librarian, and they give you that. So
big history buff, the Librarian.
Big history buff. Yep.
All right, so we see Kemp's here is in the present, has made his way to the present. He's in the library. He's going to be doing some of those checks while Talon is fighting Prince Nuvius. I'm guessing. I have not been watching.
I
It's
believe
really hard to keep
I believe
track of
it's
4
Prince
players.
Nuvius at Twin.
Is it at Twins? Okay. So
if
instead
I'm
of
not
doing that,
mistaken.
Kemp's has gotten access to the present, and I'm thinking maybe that was just deeper into Zarian Caves than Pi went. So that's a pretty big advantage. Oh, and they get an Iron Orb Plus and a Lab Coat. Oh, those are 2 huge finds. Also, we see that our NPC is there in the library for our player 2s. So that means that their gyre is on. So if they find the Kobo and the Emergent Crow familiars, that'll unlock boss fights for them. Late game, difficult boss fights for them to do that could have 2, maybe 3 items, depending on how you count it, behind those.
Ooh. Planeswater is just hinted for the Twin Pyramid Key, and it's in their world somewhere. I did not
I
quite
would've
catch
laughed if
where.
it was right there.
Ooh, and I have just realized that the player 2s have Prism Break on. They have laser accesses.
Oh yeah, that is 3 items that you have to find in order to unlock the right side of anything past Farndagras Tower, which includes the military hangar and obviously Amadeus's laboratory, which both of those have a lot of checks. So instead, usually you would have to fight the Golden Idol spot, the Elana spot, and the Maw in order to unlock those laser gates. Instead, for this tournament, or for this role of this tournament, that has been rolled on, so they find those behind items that unlock those lasers instead. Now, that's not going to be the case for every race, for every player even, because it is one of those randomly decided things from an Archipelago YAML. It's kind of the glory of this entire tournament is every race is probably going to be a little bit different.
Yep, everyone's figuring it out as they go. As are we, even though we could cheat and just look. But it's more fun this way for us.
Yeah. Talon defeats the Twins, gets Crimson Vortex Plus. Oh my goodness. That is their
The plus
first
orbs, they do
non-minus.
exist.
They do exist. That is the first non-minus thing that... Oh, no, they actually got a Royal Ring Plus, so they do know Plasma Plus is out there. That's very interesting. That is good to know. We see Planeswater in Varney's Tower, standing still. I think he might be in
Might be in BK.
BK mode. BK mode being he is out of things to do and he is waiting on his partner to do them.
Yep, he
Where's the
needs to
spindle?
find things. Spindle. That's halfway to the past.
Yeah, they need the wheel, but that is halfway. You have to wonder if they know where the wheel is. We did, like we had mentioned before, we did lose a lot of time there where we couldn't see anything. So if you're wondering why Planeswater is standing there,
Nope,
it's because oh, there's the wheel. Okay.
French vanilla wheel.
And-
It's where it's supposed to be. In
Yeah.
the wrong timeline.
Very nice. Very cool. Nice vanilla wheel, sort of. As Planeswater gets access to the past, this is a huge, huge advantage for the Sis Enough team.
Yep, they now both have access to both timelines, or time periods, and I believe we just saw Talon pick up their past access, or present access as well, with that spindle.
Okay, so that makes... Yeah, so Talon took a little detour, fought that Twins fight while Kemp's did not. That explains a lot why Kemp's had present access so early, opted not to. Oh, nice succubus hairpin over there for Kemp's. Opted not to We seem to have lost Pie's stream. And there's a commercial break in progress. We'll get these sorted out. We'll get these things sorted out. We'll get a Twitch Turbo account or something. And...
We'll get something.
Yeah, we'll get a Twitch Turbo account. All right. We are back.
Yeah, there we
All
are.
right. So,
All set.
Pie making his way left through the sewers, and Talon going up at least halfway to Ilana's tower. I think we have to say that Kemp's made the better play here early to go to Ilana's tower, snag that present access, go to the present, get everything you need, and then you'll see here that Kemp's is actually fighting the Cantorin spot. The laser access A.
That's all the lasers.
That is all the lasers. So once Kemp's goes back to the present, let's see here. Actually, never mind. He's going to need some key cards in order to get over to those laser gates. I just realized that our player twos do not have any key cards.
They've got no key cards. It's very sad.
It is possible. It is possible that they only need one. If they get the A key card and they did not roll specific key cards, then that could be the only one that they actually need.
It's not exactly the most common thing. I believe it's at 10%, but it could happen.
Like it could happen, yeah, easily. But all right, we have Planeswater heading in to get a Emperor Nuvius fight that is weak to his best offense. That is, you love to see it, and that was quick work of that boss fight there. All right.
Got a lot of vertical movement going on, and we're back at...
Yeah.
Look who it is again. It's a nightmare.
Now.
We're back.
Iron
We
Orb
deal more
plus.
than 5 damage.
Yeah, a lot more than 5 damage. You see, Kemps is doing 47 per hit with that Iron Orb. Talon climbing the rest of Ilana's tower, doing it with Light Wall without any sort of double jump. This is pretty excruciating. I don't know how much aura restoration items they have. Looks like they have a couple, so they'll be able to make the climb. That's good. We'll see if they can make it all the way up the Struggle Juggle Tower. Talon's going to really need something to be here that is required. Maybe like an A card without specific key cards on, because that is pretty much what Kemps is looking for at this point.
That was a Blue Orb Plus for our player 1 runner Planeswater there.
That's their first plus melee orb, right?
Yes, it is.
That's
And
pretty good.
Planeswater should be more than comfortable with that Blue Orb Plus.
Yeah, and we'll see. We see here we've got Pie, who is following right behind Planeswater in the mock. Nope, he's back at Zarian Caves actually.
Yeah, that's Zarion. We're back.
Well, he's gonna finish it off. It looks like that Radiant is doing some serious work, so that's good news for them. There's a gear. Gear 2. That's the first gear for our player 2s that we've seen. Of note, while we have a little bit of a relaxing point here, Jin Inferno Plus for Kemps. That is a big deal for them as well. I was gonna say, the scoring here is the team that has the lowest cumulative finish time. And by cumulative finish time, they both have to finish their seeds, and then it calls time for both of them, and then we add those times together, and then that is the final. Oh, and there's the A card for Kemps. That was in Maw Caves. We'll see if they have specific key cards on. It looks like they do have specific key cards on.
Specific
so
key
the A card
cards.
doesn't get them anything past. They might have to go to Zarian Caves here. But the cool part about all of this is that our runners cannot release and collect their items when they win. They have to go back into their seed once they have finished and keep finding their teammates' items. So just because one finishes doesn't mean that that player is done playing.
Yes, but you are incentivized to finish earlier. Like, if you can finish, unless it's like a check or two to put your teammate in go, you should probably go finish and, like, have your time be in.
Yeah, for sure. You want to have lower times there as we get our first gear for player 1 there, gear 3. That's nice to have. They're both kind of accumulating this go mode suite of items. It looks like Planeswatter's like, I don't really care. Let's fight this Maw here, even though he doesn't have the gas mask.
Well, I mean, the benefits of starting in the present, I don't think he has that much left to do there.
Yeah, I think you would at least want to check the top of the elevator here. I guess he believes in his damage per second here, which it is quite a lot. This is not one of the better bosses. It has a lot of dead time where you can't do any damage because he's teleporting. But, you know, he is doing a lot of damage. It's just that he's going to have to start chugging potions here to stay alive. Oh, he gets a team max health up from his teammate there.
Max health up, fully restoring him.
Yeah, he takes out Volturilis at the Maw, so it'll be interesting to see if those spots that are in the present at the crash site are going to have anything, because that Lake Serene or Lake Desolation is going to be filled with gas now.
All the while, dueling Varnies on the left side of your screen.
Both runners fighting Varney. It looks like, Pie's fighting Varney at Zarian. Maybe his thought that he'd better go back and do this. And then we have Varney, I'm guessing, at Ilana for Talon.
Yes, I do believe so.
Yeah. Pretty good little fight here. It's still like Varney at any mid to late game spot is dangerous. Those missiles have a real chance at doing so much damage.
Yes, he is a very strong boss, despite what you'd maybe think for him being the second boss.
Yeah, it turns out that, like, when he's the second boss in the game, having a damage multiplier of the missiles being as high as it is doesn't really make much of a difference, because it's a low number being multiplied. But when you start to get high numbers being multiplied, as Pie does a good job taking down Varney there, the reward is a berry pick-me-up. So nothing really of consequence. Maybe berry pick-me-up plus. I don't want to shortchange it.
Yep. And I think what really caused Pie to go back is I think they might have nothing else to do since they are still wheel and spindleless.
Well, this is kind of interesting. No, they had Jin Inferno. I'm trying to keep track of whose tracker is whose. Yeah, never mind. They had Jin Inferno already. I was gonna say, Talon did just send Infernal Flames. Oh wait, when did Kemps get the Celestial Sash?
They got it when they were clearing Upper Desolation, so a while ago.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a big find.
They got that right before they got their A card. I don't remember if it was a local or not.
You're gonna see Kemps clearing Ilana's tower a lot more expeditiously than Talon was able to, because he's got all this great vertical movement. Talon had single jump light wall. Kemps is going through this with Celestial Sash, pretty much the opposite of vertical progression there.
Big hammer for Talon. That should hopefully help out a lot.
All right, and we see Kemps doing that same fight that we just saw Talon doing, the Jin Inferno plus.
It does a little bit of damage.
That is doing a good amount of damage. 419.
419 damage on that giant meatball.
Big meatball. Yeah, there's those Infernal Flames and a bee trap.
Very
All
important.
right, so Pi still doesn't have a way to warp. Is walking out of Zarian Caves. Yeah, this has to be a BK mode play. Again, I'm sorry to use some lingo here, but BK mode being
Burger King
our
mode.
runners don't have anything to do. It is a reference to when I think I Ate Your Pie, streamer I Ate Your Pie was doing a massive, I guess, Ocarina. I think it was an Ocarina
Yes,
of
it
Time
was the
multi-world.
original Ocarina of Time multi-world. And
Yeah.
went to Burger King, got back, and still had nothing to do.
Yeah, so it's been called BK mode for a while because you leave and go to Burger King when you don't have anything to do.
Doesn't happen nearly for nearly as long of times in Archipelago due to their progression balancing system. Unless you're playing an async, but at that point you're expected to, go days without checks, so.
Yeah. Okay. We've just got a high potion at Bombardiers. That's kind of disappointing. That's one of those spicy locations that people put off for a long time, those Bombardiers. So you always look out for that to be like a trap location, like someone will just never go and check that again, as we get a spicy Eternal Coat out of that engineer. So that's a pretty good find. This is Planeswatter's first time through this castle. So as such, he's not going to be skipping anything. He does have all the vertical he needs technically with that light wall. Is missing a hairpin or a celestial sash like his player 2 compatriot is, but we're getting a hint on Pi's side for the laser access.
One of the laser accesses.
One of the laser accesses. What did he? Oh, he does not have enough hint points.
Yep, needs 15 more locations for that hint.
Right, and I think he was just trying to see if he had laser accesses on.
No, our player ones do have laser accesses.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep getting their trackers mixed up. Sorry.
I could maybe make that a little bit more clear. Improvements.
Yeah, the ones on the inside are player 1. The ones on the outside are player 2.
Yeah, so he was looking for his last one, hopefully to get out of BK, since they have. Actually, would that have even helped? They can't.
No, they don't have.
They can't get all the way
through. They don't have elevator or B card. I don't know. There's the spindle.
There's the spindle, and I believe the
wheel
wheel is
should be
vanilla, and that'll give Pi a lot to do. Dalen, that's a giant hammer, not a wall made out of light.
Hammer. I mean, technically, like, I don't know if you could just like wedge it up there and use the hammer as like a ladder. I mean, it's big enough.
Well, we should talk to Bodhi about that for Timespinner 2.
Yeah. By the way, Timespinner 2 is a thing that is in development. If you haven't, you should wishlist it on Steam. Oh, and it does look like Planeswater got that B card. So that is lab access.
Water Mask at Ancient Pyramid Secret Room in Player 1's world for Player 2. I was able to read that one.
Ancient Pyramid Secret Room, that's the one at the bottom?
Yes, that is the bottom one, not quite Regret Chest.
That is not quite Regret Chest. It is at the bottom of the big pit in Ancient Pyramid, so that
still not something we're looking to climb out of with single jump light wall, is the idea.
It is perhaps a just chill and I'll just beat the game real quick sort of thing, and then I'll hop down there and go get it. It really depends on if our player ones get Celestial Sash, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
It may be faster to go beat the game than drop down.
I mean, if they're only at single jump light wall, unless they get a right side pyramid warp, which, I mean, they don't even have the twin pyramid key yet. They might be out of luck there, anyways.
If it is a right side pyramid warp that they end up getting, and like that's not, I mean, we're assuming Enter Sandman is on.
That
Which
this is
not
also
necessarily
true.
something we know.
We know not a lot about what the Twin Pyramid Key is going to do for player 1 just yet.
Yeah, very, very limited information about the Pyramid Key right now, except for they don't have it. I believe this will be Talon's first go at Nightmare past, at Nightmare at Azure Queen. So,
It won't be their first one, but it's their first time returning to it, just like...
it'll be their first. They
just
also
like
tried it. I know
BTK.
Kemp's tried it. I didn't think Talon.
Yeah, Talon died way quicker and noped out of it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, Talon did die way, way faster than Kemps did. Kemps was deep into that fight and took that death. It does look like Kemps is checking our first Gyre boss, the Ifrit spot.
5,000 HP
And
worth
it's
of
Zarian,
weak to
so, I
fire.
mean, very weak to fire. This shouldn't be too much
Send
of a
out like
problem.
11 meatballs and call it a day.
Yeah.
So long as we don't die first. But
Yeah, the poison worms is really what you have to worry about. But I think the damage per second is just too good with the Jin Inferno glitch that it's really not going to be too much of a problem. And there you go. Kemps gets lab glasses and
HP for their
health
trouble.
up.
Nothing massively important.
Not very important, but it does look like a potential BK mode on Kemp's side now. So we'll see if we get a hint.
You're in that position. What do you hint? You got Sash. Mysterious Warp Beacon.
Mysterious Warp Beacon.
That didn't return anything.
Okay, so
They have to go to the lab.
I mean, well, they didn't have. They knew they didn't have Unchained keys on because they had to find the Pyramid Key, right?
I believe they started with it.
Oh,
I
they
believe
started
they
with the
are
Pyramid Key.
unchained.
Okay, so they are Unchained. They just haven't found any beacons yet.
Yes.
We just don't know anything. Okay,
We know
so
nothing
they
about
didn't
the
get anything out
warps.
of the mysterious beacon hint, so they are going to have to go all the way through the lab and go the typical way through the end game. All right, we got Timespinner Gear 2 hint, which is
Library V Terminal
Library
2.
Terminal, and then Caves of Banishment was the other gear. So, we do know Planeswaters Go mode at least.
Yes. Sis enough has enough to put Planeswater in Go mode. We still don't have nearly enough for D2K just yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they do know because I think Kemps is going to have to get his water mask.
Oh, sorry. I think Planeswater actually hinted as Gear 3 again. The Gear 1 is in military.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes more sense because I was like, wait, the water mask can't be anywhere that Kemps hasn't already been in the Caves of Banishment.
Wait, no. We need a tablet for player 2.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yes, it was the terminal, the V-card terminal.
Oh, the V-card terminal, yep. So tablet for player 2 is still one of the Go mode items.
Yes, that is still an item we are looking for. Very technical climb up that vertical
Yeah.
shaft. That is not easy to do that quickly.
Planeswater barely made it up, too, so you can see it was precarious there for a second. I thought he was going to chug a sand vial real quick, but I think he just trusted that he was going to...
It is very notably
there.
not in logic, but... The Twin Pyramid Key! We know about the
Oh my
warps
God.
now. Well, we don't know about the warps just yet. We have to see when they enter that warp
Yeah.
room.
We'll see if Ender Sandman is on momentarily.
Looks like we're getting a hint for a key card D from Talon,
Yep. So
which is at
we have-
Caves of
it's its
Banishment
own lower-
Mod Journal.
Yep. All right, there's Gear 1 for
Water mask.
Plains water, and so we are waiting for a tablet for Kemps. I don't know if we have a hint for that outstanding, or if Kemps doesn't have
They
enough
might not
hint
have
points
enough
for it.
points. They
Yeah.
might have tried and had not had enough.
We did just get a Talon hint for the water mask, and so they
Which,
get the bad news about the water mask.
yeah, which is unfortunately relatively deep. And there's that B card for Pi. So they are getting closer and closer to go mode.
Yep. It looks like while Talon was typing in his console, he may have accidentally paused his timer, but never fear, we have a race time GG room going, so we will have official times from that.
Yes.
Gotta rebind those keys, Talon.
Not something you really think about.
No, it really isn't.
Laser access A. I missed where that was. Oh no, that wasn't a new hint. That was already been hinted.
Yeah, that was already hinted.
Planeswater light walling up in the lab, getting a kitty head dropped on them. Almost again.
Obviously. Yep. As one does. All right, well, we have a spider hell here. Talon trying to get some light walls up there.
There you
you go.
You know, we like saying don't get cute with your light walls, but sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta.
Radiant Orb will do just fine here, fortunately for them. It just barely reaches.
It's just starting. I don't know if it's like, I think it still reaches. It's just more precise if you're in that starting room portion.
We do have Pi now climbing up Ilana's tower. As we have Talon doing Bat Ledge.
I feel really bad for our runners. Most of these runners have been playing a single jump light wall seed their entire life.
Yeah.
Unless your name is E2 Timps. In which case you have all of your movement.
We do have a V card on Kemp's side now, so it's literally just a tablet.
Yep, one tablet away. And Planeswater can go beat their game, get the water mask in the pyramid.
Kemp's heading to the library.
There is a succubus hairpin for Pi.
Oh, that's good. You know, that's some vertical.
And Planeswater is not grabbing that?
Planeswater does not have the possession. Kemp's has not done that check.
I'm pretty sure I just watched Planeswater light wall buy it. I'm pretty sure it was that.
Yeah.
Does Planeswater think they've already checked that?
Maybe. That is interesting.
Planeswater. I'm pretty sure you want that.
Yeah, he'll probably check his map and be like, "Dope," and then he'll Pi, I just noticed, is also doing like a little bit more damage than Planeswater is. I think just like a little bit more time in Zarian Caves. He did it twice, right?
Yeah,
so
2 times through Zarian Caves. We'll get you a few more levels, a bit more damage. There's the tablet.
There's the
Planeswater
tablet.
is in go mode, minus that succubus hairpin. They will have to light wall, a single jump light wall climb out of the pit.
Yep, unless of course He checks his map real quick, and he's like, "Hey, wait a second. He did not check his map. Oh
Nope.
boy.
Warp shards.
Well, let's see if we get a hit
Planeswater is
here.
sending it.
Let's. Well, I guess. Let's. This is tough because he could just be thinking like, "Hey, it's in the lab," or he could be thinking, "I'm gonna go get you your water mask, and you're gonna get me my sash." Maybe, I don't know. This is an interesting turn of events here.
Oh, Timespinner Gear 3 for D2.
Yep. We'll see if this kind of blunder with the Succubus hairpin is going to end up mattering. I don't know. Yeah, because the sash is going to be out there somewhere. Pi took out the Ilana spot pretty easily as well. We have a tablet for Talon. Does Pi know where all of his gears are? Or
I do
I
not
know Talon's
think...
going and getting tablet stuff now, so he'll have...
But Talon does not have the V card. Only has B.
Talon does not have the V card. That is true.
Yes, so getting all the tablet stuff, but unfortunately not Castle Keep Warp. The beacons, they do exist.
Yep. All right. So we're gonna get an Ifrit fight here. This was pretty. This was Zarian, so this shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Idol
the
or
Jin
Genza?
Inferno Plus doing 446 for Talon. Just Talon's like, I don't really care. I'm gonna damage race you.
I'm gonna damage race you, and I can heal.
Yeah.
As we
Stacking
see,
light walls on the golden idol here, hitting the radiant.
that is idol at the Princedad location. So.
Yep.
That is Planeswater into the pyramid once this long cutscene finishes.
Yeah, looks like Kemps is just chilling, waiting for that water mask. We're gonna see. I guess we're gonna see what Planeswater's play is. I wonder if he does a quick regret chest dip. You know, while he's down there
with just a light wall. I don't think so.
I mean, it's better than climbing out of the pit.
Is it? You have to climb out of the pit anyways.
Well, maybe not though. Is the thing. Like he's gonna get the water mask. He could get enough checks, hint for his sash, and just wait for Kemps to pick up the sash, which is probably asterisk guarded by
Player 2's
underwater.
Timespinner Gear 1 is at post Ravenlord Player 1, I think I just saw.
Oh, well, that's another task.
Post Ravenlord their world.
Oh, interesting. So they need the Merchant Crow.
So they need the Merchant Crow familiar.
Great.
Which D2 does have, so they will just need to fight the Ravenlord location. Which, at this point, is probably easier said and done. They're pretty strong at this point.
Planeswater is taking the big fall. He's going to grab this water mask. Go save, probably climb out of the pit. Yeah, that's probably the smart play. All right. Well, Kemps, we'll see what is underwater for you. We did see a Caves of Banishment hint. I think that may have been for Kemps's Gear 1 that we saw earlier, perhaps.
Yes, I believe it was...
Beeline.
No, because their Gear 1 is in the post-Ravenlord location.
Oh, that's where it is? Okay, sorry. They're doing their hints in the text client, and I don't have the text client pulled up. So.
Yes, Yeah, we just saw Talon hint that.
Yeah. So, Planeswater, heading to the final boss gauntlet.
2 bosses back to back. You get a heal after them, which is very nice. Being smart, tagging the warp.
Just in case.
Always tag that
Hopefully
warp.
you don't need it. Oh, and it's flooded.
Good thing they have the water mask.
Great thing they have the water mask.
Security keycard C to player 1. And we've got boots.
We've got boots at Sandman.
Boots at Sandman underwater. This is awful.
This is terrible, actually.
This is...
These rocks fall are a lot harder to dodge when you can't really backdash.
Yeah. When you
And
can't
they're gonna
move
do,
at
like,
all.
A lot of damage. 61. It looks like Planeswatter's like, I can take one more of those. No need to heal on any. Oh my gosh. He
It still
was in
didn't
there
take the
using
hit.
ether, so I might as well heal, and then he almost didn't.
Didn't need to. Didn't take the hit anyways.
Right. Jackpot room. The sending of items over to his partner when he's in the middle of a boss fight. It's always a classic.
There's the
And there's
Celestial
the
Sash.
stash.
I think that's what we knew hinted in Maw Caves.
Yeah. Okay. And one boss down for Planeswater as our Pi, I guess, crossing through Burning Vines and checking. Yeah, no, these
Security
vines are already
keycard
burned. He's just
D.
crossing over to. I don't think he's done cantering yet. Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, he's not doing cantering.
We've located the security keycard D for player 2. That's also in the Maw Caves.
Yeah, speaking of cantering, we have a very good underwater fight in cantering. Very safe. Kind of chill up there and massacre the poor guy while he's trying to hit you with light walls beneath him. You think he would notice?
You think so, but you
And
know,
there we go. That is a
that is
finish
time
Planeswater.
for Planeswater.
Officially 55-43. So they're not done yet. They got to get back into the game and keep passing items to Kemps, so Kemps can get into.
So Kemps can get into go mode.
Yeah,
But I
Kemps can
believe
get into
Kemps
go
is in
mode.
go mode. They just don't know where to look.
Yeah, because they haven't. Yeah, Kemps. We know where the gear is because of a Talon hint. We do not know where it is. The Kemps, the Assist Enough team does not know where it is. And they've used a lot of hints already, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's just no idea of where it might be. But it does look like Planeswater is doing some stuff that he hadn't yet. He might be going and getting his succubus hairpin here. Yep, there it is. Oops.
Oopsies. That's maybe a spot you should have checked already, Planeswater.
Yeah.
No, Planeswater has places to be. It can't be spending time getting useless items like the double jump.
Yeah.
Once that timer
That would
stops.
have been interesting if, like, he would have just light wall skipped instead of light wall skipped, fight the boss, and then backtracked. Although Kemps was just chilling there, you kind of want to reduce the amount of times. I know we were talking about how you want to finish fast regardless, but there is also the idea that you want to reduce the amount of time either of your teammates are just sitting there, you know?
Yes,
You wanna
minimizing
kind of get
wasted
movement.
time is good.
Yeah. Oh, Planeswater didn't do like any of this. There's Plasma Plus. Again, stuff that you see a little quick double duck. And where is he going
Throw
next?
stun
Going
trap.
to the lab. Right. Kemps is making his way through the military hangar. I think that's a dog that is replacing a giantess, so that's like a really dangerous dog. All right, and there's gear 1, or I'm sorry, gear 2 for. Nope, that was gear 1 for Pi.
Yeah, gear 1 for Pi. We know where one of their gears is. Still behind that V card in Player Two's world, Talon's world.
Yep, and it does look like Talon might be in there waiting for the water mask. So, well, the V card is still missing. So
The V card, I believe, was in the lab, so we'll be getting that shortly.
interesting. Yeah, Planeswater. Why did Planeswater just not go grab? Do they know?
Do they know?
Why didn't Planeswater go grab the item behind Experiment? He went through all the trouble of killing it. Okay, they have to know. Because Kemp's just is passing up checks right now.
Yeah.
Okay. It does look like Sis Enough will be in full team go mode momentarily. All it would take is defeating this boss, which is Emperor Volturilis at Ravenlord.
5,000 HP,
perfectly
but we've
easy
got
fight,
Empire
but
Plus.
We do have Empire Plus.
We've got the big meatball too, which is always good DPS.
Yeah. Just a very, very powerful hitting boss spot here. And it looks like Planeswatter's kind of doing a little victory lap and fighting bosses.
Planeswater out here having a little bit of fun.
Yep. He knows he doesn't have anything to do. And there is a Gear 1 for D2 Kemps. Now, he can't warp out here, so he's got to go beat Genza.
They don't have the mysterious warp anyways. They have to go defeat Genza regardless.
Yeah, that's true. They have to go defeat Genza. First race, we had a double required Genza, so that's interesting. Oh. 533 is that? 513 per
513
tick?
per meatball.
All right.
That is Genza down. Who
So
are we
here
gonna fight?
fight?
We are not even gonna
He
look.
didn't even check. He's like, this has got fewer HP. We're just gonna go ahead and go
This
with
one
it.
has
Another...
less HP and is the same amount a week to the meatball.
Yep. Oh,
there's
Talon's
the library V card. Who's in the lab?
So... Heading over that way as Kemps breaks time. And we'll be heading in with his Celestial Sash into the Pyramid to go beat the final two bosses. So we're going to see how that goes for him. As we see Pi getting the Gear 2, obviously, out of that V card room. And running into the Experiment 13, picking up... Oh, it was a berry pick-me-up. Okay. We're getting a final hint.
Caves of
And
Banishment,
so now they know where Pi's go mode is.
Yep.
Gear
And
3
there is the Gear
for-
3. They are
Yeah,
just
Gear 3
a E-card D and Ravenlord away. Still need that Raven familiar. But the keycard D is in the Maw Caves. I don't remember where that Ravenlord or Raven familiar is.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Technically, because we have logs, we could like scroll up and see where everything is, but
Yeah, you've got logs.
yeah. All right, we've got Ilana over on Kemp's side.
And would you look at that? That seems pretty weak to the meatball. 351.
Turns out Weak to the meatball. And our final boss is the twins.
The twins. And you'll never guess this. Weak to the meatball.
To the meatball.
That is
should be finishing up for Sis Enough any moment now.
Yep. Very shortly, we'll be looking for exclamation points for Sis Enough. As we see Pi making their way towards those Maw caves to go pick up their final gear so that they can send Talon into their Maw caves so they can pick up their D card and eventually go fight Ravenlord.
Let's see some exclamation points in chat for Sis Enough. We do have a forfeit from Simps for Lunais. Unfortunate. We have a total time. I'm just gonna eyeball it a bit here. 104.27 plus 55.43. To my knowledge, is a cool 111.10.
I believe so. I believe your math is good there.
All right. No, it's 110.10. My bad.
110.10.
It's 110.10. So yeah, we have a final time of 110.10 for Sis Enough. Pretty good. And we'll see if we have any want for a post-race interview.
Yes, we'll see. We cannot get them in. That was a lot to watch.
It really was. I'm going to be pulling them in here.
It is already hard enough to watch 2 Timespinner streams, let alone 4.
Yeah,
hello,
for
guys.
Sure. Hello, and welcome on in. Wow, what a wild first round of this tournament. That player 2s, our D2 Kemps and Talon, that early run was pretty brutal, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, man! I was
yes.
We saw so many minus orbs, and it was just so sad.
Pi and I did exactly 2 practice scenes, and on both of them I didn't get stuck with Randomizer. So as soon as I ran out of there and got smacked by that thing, I was like, oh no.
yeah, pretty rough start with all those minus orbs plus the enemy rando.
Yeah.
Now he knows the pain I felt during the practice scenes.
Oh, I know, right? He got hacked so bad in our practice, like they were rough, and I'm like, dude, I don't see what the problem is. I'm cruising. Hey,
yeah. How much of a difference did that?
I never BK'd in our practices. I was cruising, finding stuff. I'm like, this is easy. What's the problem?
So we have one really quick funny note here. The one thing that we were looking out for was that when Planeswater, you kind of just light walled right past the Succubus hairpin your first time into Alana's tower.
Oh yeah. Well,
that was pretty funny.
Nice, but I don't. At that point, it didn't really make that much of a difference.
It didn't make that much of a difference.
Yeah, I was just sending out. I was going into the regret pit to send out the water mask, and then I was going to finish my seed.
Right. Speaking of that regret pit, a little bit of strategy question here. If you had the Succubus hairpin, what would have been your plan regarding just go beat the game, and after I beat the game, backtrack and get that water mask since it's right there, or go get the water mask and then light wall?
Like we'd hinted for the water mask.
Oh yes, I know you had, but in terms of the way that this race is scored is sum of finish times. You have to kind of weigh the benefit of going and getting that water mask or getting the quickest possible finish time and then going and getting the water mask. It's a bit of a strategic
at that point, Kemps was a number of checks away from being able to hint the last Timespinner piece.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted them to be able to have the water mask, do some checks so that while I was finishing the game, hopefully, if it was in my seed, then I could send it right away. was the reasoning.
That makes sense.
Kemps, I want to commend you. It would have been really easy to get super on tilt after that death you took at the Nightmare very deep into that fight.
Yeah.
You seem to keep your composure, so congrats on that. How were you feeling after that happened?
After that happened, well, I had just saved. It's not a big deal. I
Yeah,
didn't.
but it was a lot of
None
time
of
fighting that
the rest
boss.
of the seed was open to me at that point.
Yeah.
So like, I was fighting the Nightmare solely because there wasn't actually that much else to do.
Yeah.
I was not hurt by losing that fight.
It was funny because Talon went in there, died a lot quicker, and then backtracked out much quicker than you did. And it was very funny to see because you were kind of almost doing it side by side.
Yeah, it got to him, and I'm like, if that's the answer, that really sucks. But I died. I'm like, no, that's fine. I'm out of here.
Yeah,
The light won't get you past the drawbridge. Yeah. I went back later with Iron Hammer Plus and just ended it. I'm like, all right, we're done.
Yeah.
How did Pai's backtracking go? We were stuck without the Twin Pyramid key for a pretty long time there.
That was garbage.
Yeah, we had to backtrack a key card to go
Library,
get
Zarian,
the key card in
library.
Zarian Caves.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then B key card in the past to get our Twin Pyramid key. It was something.
Yeah, it was
I'm sorry.
very something.
I rolled
I'll
this.
see my steps in. It's okay.
I mean, I think the big thing was realizing what we needed to hint for in this. I think that's
Yeah,
that was
Twin
something
Pyramid
we
key
talked
was my
about a lot.
first hint, so I knew that there was I wasn't going to be warping, so I was trying to be fairly thorough. I warped out and bailed out before doing Alanos Towers because at that point I knew after getting the B key card I knew I could find my Twin Pyramid key, so I went to do that first.
Yeah, once I knew my TPK was in the lab, so or the hangar, I'm like, okay, let's find my last access code and then zoom from there.
Yeah, that was one of the things we talked about a lot before we went into this, that hinting really is going to be the key, I think, to a lot of these matches, is did you hint for the thing you needed the most at the right time? So we knew, with you guys, the TPK was super buried. And so,
even
okay,
if
we've
it's not
got to
the next item, next available item, it gives you a pretty good idea of what kind of seed it is. So this is the going back and forth for player 1 seed.
Yeah, finding out that security keycard D was in the Maw Caves,
right?
Just meant,
Yeah.
I need water mass.
Rip. That was we did the same thing. D, okay, I need the water mass. That was the next hint. Yeah, we were following the same progression.
Yeah, the funny thing, we've done one of these before, except the one player was Final Fantasy Randomizer and the other player was Timespinner Randomizer. And we kind of arrived at that same conclusion with the caveat of, oh god, I need vertical. Which one do I hint for? Luckily, that wasn't the case for this race specifically.
No, instead,
but,
everyone had single jump light wall.
to look out for.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it is definitely something to look out for in the future in terms of hinting for the right thing. Races might be decided by, am I going to get greedy and hint for the sash, or am I going to be more reasonable and hint for the succubus hairpin? So it'll be really fun to watch in future races.
Yeah.
Do we have any further thoughts? But for either, let's start with Simps for Lunais. You have any thoughts about this race and the future of the tournament? This is double elimination, so you are not done yet.
No, that's fine. And it was good seed. Just a lot of the normal ass back and forth, and that makes the multi-worlds go great.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a multi-world seed where they went left and we went right, kind of a thing. Really, and then some execution problems in there too. Really separated it by a pretty far margin. We were on the trail at the end, but yeah, just couldn't get there in time. But yeah, no, we were super excited for anything Timespinner. I'm all for. So if you say multi-world, Pi and I are always in for it. So we are super excited for this one.
Awesome. Awesome. You have won. So looking at the tournament, I can pull it up here.
I will say it was. I thought I had saved after sending the captain's hat.
Oh,
and I just hadn't. I had to keep on going in and unequipping it over and over again.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that. That is going to be kind of like a rule that is potentially lost, but we're going to have to try and keep reminding people of that. It's a bit of an exploit, but Yeah, so it does look like you are going up against Video Dames is the name of the team, which I believe is Lady Bun and Art Hunter Vera.
That does sound right. Yes.
Yeah, so that should be a really fun race.
Yeah, looking forward to
and
it.
Simpin for Lunais probably go ahead and get into the loser bracket where you'll fight somebody. This is the first tournament match, so we don't have a lot of details, but it's going to be a fun time either way.
Very
Heck
fun
yeah, looking
first
forward
match.
to it.
Happy to be the guinea pig. Yeah, thanks so much for putting this together.
Yeah,
Thanks for hosting.
We've got a lot of fun time spinner ahead of us. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Zed, you got any final thoughts?
I've got nothing. Yeah. It was fun, and once we got everything set up, went pretty smooth, I would say.
Yeah. I want to thank the Final Fantasy Randomizer community again for offering up their channels for restreaming of this tournament. So you might see more of us on FFR and FFR2 this tournament. And I hope to see a lot of y'all there. It's going to be a great time. But yeah, that's it for me. I've been Wef Jubster. Zed, thank you for the restream, all your work there.
Well,
And we'll see you all next time.
See ya.
take care.
Peace.
Thanks so much.